يسحمهاش.
فدائي خير. هلا زوينة.
مقناص انت وينك؟
أقول إنهم ذابحني، تقف معاه شاهين وتعينه، هذا اللي ما نقبله.
وأنا وش حولي من شاهين؟
يفهمه إن اللي يعين الخاين على قلة الخير.
عز الله أنها كاذبة.
لا تنطق اسمي، لا تنطق اسمي على لسانك، صوت الله وجهك.
تراهن ثنتين ما غير، يا إنك ترجع لصوابك.
أنا قناص.
الله يبلعك يا شاهين، الله يبلعك يا شاهين.
قرر وجلس راقب فزاع، لا بكره اصبر. تحقر ايش اللي لقيته بهم بس، يسلم راسك يا شت عنتر لي. بعد ما نقبض على فزاع بنفهمها ونفهم أهل الديرة كامل إيش اللي كان.
لا تقرني قدام خلق الله، الماخذ حقي بيدي أكون مساعد.
Welcome back to Jamaat Studio, where every episode is more than a story. It is an emotional journey that stays with you. So let's begin the review. This episode opens with uncertainty, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet, creeping doubt that slowly changes everything. From the very first scene, there is a feeling that something important is hanging in the balance. Conversations feel careful, moments feel restrained. It is if everyone is walking on fragile ground, afraid that one wrong step could cause everything to collapse. The central theme of this episode is loyalty and how easily it can be tested. At the beginning, loyalty seems strong, promises are repeated, support is offered, there is reassurance in words. But beneath those words lies hesitation. The tension doesn't come from obvious conflict. It comes from suspicion, from the possibility that trust may not be as solid as it once seemed. And as the story progresses, small actions begins to speak louder than grand declarations. A secret kept for protection, a truth slightly altered to avoid pain, but those small decisions begin to build walls, and walls once formed are difficult to tear down. Midway through the episode, the emotional stakes rise. A discovery is made, not dramatic, not explosive, but significant enough to shift the dynamic entirely. The realization isn't about betrayal alone. It is about feeling excluded, feeling secondary, feeling like loyalty might not be mutual. The confrontation that follows is powerful precisely because it remains controlled. Voices do not rise much, but emotion do. There is a frustration mixed with hurt. There is defensiveness masking guilt, and in the middle of it all is the fragile thread holding everything together. What makes this episode stand out is how it handles vulnerability. One side struggles to admit fear, the another struggles to admit disappointment. Neither wants to appear weak, yet both are deeply affected, and that internal battle creates a tension stronger than any dramatic twist. The pacing allows every emotion to settle. Silence lingers after difficult words. Reactions are not rushed. The episode trusts the audience to feel the weight of each moment, and that patience pays off. Visually, the episode leans into contrast. Open spaces feel isolating rather than freeing. Even shared scenes feel distant. There is a sense that connection is slipping away, even when people stand side by side. As the story nears its final act, loyalty is redefined. It is no longer about blind support. It becomes about honesty, about choosing transparency or protection, about understanding that shielding someone from the truth can sometimes hurt them more. There is a powerful scene near the end where vulnerability finally replaces pride. It is not a grand gesture, it is simple admiration and admission. Fear of losing what matters most, and that admission changes the tone completely. The resolution is not perfect, There are still doubts, there are still scares, but there is clarity, a recognition that loyalty must be built on trust, not control, on communication, not assumption. The final moments leave the audience reflecting rather than celebrating. The bond may not be fully restored, but it is no longer built on illusions, it is built on truth, fragile but real. When the screen fades, what remains is not shock, it is understanding, a reminder that loyalty is not tested in comfort, it is tested in conflict. The episode doesn't rely on dramatic spectacle, it relies on emotional authenticity, and in doing so, it delivers a powerful message. Loyalty without honesty is fragile, but loyalty with truth can survive even the hardest trials. So, thank you so much for watching. You have just experienced another deep and emotional review with Jamaat Studio, where every story leaves a lasting impact. Until the next episode, stay connected, stay immersed. Thank you so much for watching.